And we are live. What's good, Josh, man? DL saying, welcome, welcome, welcome. I really want to know podcast, man. Hope y'all are well. It's Thursday. It is Thursday, and we're gonna do something I've never done before, man. We're gonna get this is definitely a first. We've never done a top pick or you know top five and whatever. I've never done this before. I don't think so. Yesterday, well, I mean, on this platform, man, we talk a whole bunch of stuff, man. And a lot of people have thrown me into the red pill space, and I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? My version of red pill is a little different than what you will find out there on other platforms. I really look at that term red pill and I take it straight from the movie The Matrix. Hey, do you really want to see what's going on, or do you want to stay inside the machine? That's how I look at it. So to me, red pill is being awake, and it serves me pretty well. Even when I go to other content creators and people who are closer to the mainstream, people who are closer to what you would consider the blue pill guys and girls out there, I'm welcomed in all these different platforms, and they want to listen to what we have to say over here because again, we're just, hey man, this is how I see it. Like, this is what's going on. This is how it used to be. This is how it currently is. Who knows what's going to look like in the future, right? And then we had the talks about relationship and people just like my brother Mandrell. Mandrell's like, yeah, man, I like your version of red pill. Gray pill, same thing. He was like, you know what? DL Saint, man, that's my nemesis. I respect this. I respect his opinion, and I get where he's coming from. Gray pill hates content creators in the Mano Swamp or the red pill guys. He is no fan of them at all, but he welcomes me with open arms on his platform, and I welcome him with open arms on this platform. So normally I'm talking to the men. Normally I'm saying, hey man, this is what it's like. This is what you got to do. This is what's going on out there. Right? You feel me? It's like, I don't care what you were thinking. I'm just letting you know what's going on in the trenches, man. I'm giving you a report from the front. Don't hate the messenger, man. I'm just giving you the report from the front. This is the game we are all stuck in, and we got to play it. Don't hate the players, hate the game. That's what I talk about over here. But today, I'm going to do it from a different perspective. I am going to give my thoughts on how women can be more successful in today's current dating landscape, right? And what I'm going to talk about today isn't rooted in science. This is just me saying, hey, this is what I've seen. This is what I think may work. You might want to give this a try. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the top 5 traits that men look for in women. Ladies, this show is for y'all. Let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Shout out to Shushu. I love that intro. And the outro, I really enjoy the outro. The music in the outro is copywritten music. And what YouTube does, just for those who are out there in this world, in this space, or thinking about getting into this space, if you have some copyrighted music in your content, it's an automatic share. I guess they automatically take X percentage of whatever revenue you might make off of that content, and they share it with the people who hold the copyright, which I think is cool. I think that is cool. So Lady Navo is in the building already. What's good, sis? What's good? She's like, hey, D can't join today. Got PT to a and then she was like, give me some emojis and some hieroglyphs. A great show. Always, brother. And hit that like, fam, love, share, and comment after the life ends out. Love. Appreciate that, love. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you jumping on, support me. Lady Navo is one of the day ones. Just be there, rocking out with a brother. and we'll see who pops in. You know, what I mean, this would be kind of fun, man. But we're just gonna get into it. I don't have any videos to share. You know, we're not gonna be doing anything. It's just y'all just stuck with me in the sound machine today. But we're gonna get into this. I'm looking forward to comments and stuff like that. Like, you know, people, if I say something that you don't understand or you don't agree with, you know, put it in the comment. And if you want to jump up, let me know. I'll drop the link. You come up and we can even talk about it. Um, and I can tell you why I came to that conclusion on whatever point. So got my notes here, and we're gonna get into it. So the one thing I've noticed, and you know, again, I'm in my 50s. I have been out there my entire adult life in the trenches, you know, out there dealing with the dating landscape, the sexual marketplace, all that good stuff, right? And I'm here to tell you, you know, going back to my teenage years, man, going all the way back into the 80s to the, you know, mid 80s, all the way up to now, it is definitely different, right? You guys hear me say that all the time over here. I don't recognize it. I don't recognize it. And the thing that's changed the most, dudes are pretty much the same. I'm just gonna keep it 100. From my point of view, guys are pretty much the same. The dude out there today operating, trying to get on, trying to meet women is the same as the guy who was out there in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and so on. It hasn't changed, probably going all the way back, you know, as far back in time as you want to go. Guys want companionship. They want that Foxy Brown, right? They want that sexual connection, and they want access to that Foxy Brown on a continuing basis. And it's so important to guys, in fact, that they're willing to get married because that would kind of guarantee that access in the home, share a house, they can have kids. Most dudes, you know what I mean? And we're talking like the average dude, he's not trying to go out there and run a rotation. He's not trying to be a player, right? He just wants a woman at home that he loves and loves him back. And, you know, he can build a family with and build a life with and know that she's there and, you know, he trusts her. And that's what they want. That's what the average dude wants, right? So you got, of all the guys out there, you got the basement dweller dudes, like the guys at the bottom who are just not motivated, not socially aware. Maybe they're out of shape. They don't know how to talk to people. You know, they're, you know, not winners. They're not used to winning. They don't want to put in the hard work. They're always looking for shortcuts. You know, probably still living with their parents or their grandparents or something like that. Or these dudes who just kind of rent a room and just, you know, that guy. You got them, right? I call them the bottom 8 basement dwellers, right? Then you got the mid-tier guys, which is the vast majority of men. They're hardworking. Most of them are God-fearing. They're fearing some sort of God. They believe in truth. They believe in justice, the American way. You feel me? They understand right from wrong. They're not afraid to work hard. You know, some of those guys are natural leaders. They get involved in organizations. They're involved with the church or whatever religious group they affiliate with. They get involved in politics. Right? You know, they work overtime. They take care of business. They do things the right way. They don't get in trouble. They pay their taxes. Right? And then you got the top tier guys, and the top tier guys are just the dudes who are highly sought after by women. The top tier guys are the guys who are, you know, generally taller, like the tall, dark, handsome, wealthy. They have all these cool experiences. Everyone loves them. They're funny. You know, they're the guys that other guys want to be, and they're the guys that all the women want to smash. Top tier dudes, right? So that's pretty much how we look at it, right? Those, you know, you got the bottom tier, middle tier, top tier, right? And the middle tier is the tier that drives our society, in my opinion. It's that middle tier that America's built on. It's that middle tier where, you know, the good guys come from. That's the solid men, right? These are the men that women say they want, but these aren't the men that women pursue readily, right? More often than not, the middle tier guys are the women or the men that women end up with, right? So when you're talking about the middle tier and top tier guys, I think these pointers, you know, will help. But it's basically these things I'm going to be talking about is basically for the top tier guys. You know, why am I just going to kind of narrow it down to the top tier guys? Is because those are the dudes that women tend to pursue. They really want those guys. And I'm seeing a lot of women out there who aren't really necessarily seeing that success, right? So you look at Ebony K. Williams, a very beautiful, very successful, right, woman, educated, had a great career, right? She's checked all the boxes except for a husband. She couldn't get it. She could not get the husband that she wanted. And right now she's gone viral for some statements she made. She made some statements in the past about I wouldn't date a bus driver unless he owned a bus because, that's her preference. She want the top tier guy. I don't want just a bus driver. I want the guy who owns the bus company. Okay, fine. That's great. No problem. But now she's put out something that came out. It hit last night. We did a late show on it last night where she's talking about maybe she made a mistake. Maybe she should have, while she was in college, while she was young and at her peak, with her youth and beauty, when she was the most desired by all the men out there, all three groups, maybe she should have been focused on finding a husband just as focused as she was on getting that degree, right? She came out and said some stuff like that, man. And I'm pretty sure, people are still, getting in her over it, but she was making some pretty valid points. And there's points that people over here on this side of the internet are familiar with. She's talking about sexual market value. She's talking about how a female value shoots up early on. Like they're kind of born with their value. And then after a certain point, it drops off fast. Whereas guys, they're not born with anything. They have to go out there and they have to attain and create their value. And when that happens, they kind of go like this. And then all of a sudden they hit that point where they're really taking off and then their value starts to skyrocket. Around the same time, the woman's value starts to decline age-wise. So when you got a guy who's in his late 30s, early 40s, and he's done the work, he's found a success, man, his value is like skyrocketing. Whereas his female counterpart, her value is starting to decline no matter how beautiful she is, no matter what her body looks like. The fact that she's older puts her in a cohort of women that just don't get the same amount of attention that they did when they were much younger. So if you're a 42-year-old woman, you're not getting nearly the same amount of attention from men that you were getting when you were 22 and 32 and so on. So this is a message that the red pill guys, the manosphere or whatever, is familiar with. And the term they use, they call it the wall. They say women hit the wall comes for everyone. It comes from men too. At some point, men's value will begin to adjust and also fall off as well. It just comes much later. So we're going to talk about the best ways to get that guy, that top tier guy. And more importantly, what you should do to keep that guy, right? We're just talking to ladies. And this is just coming from me. This is because it's coming from a dude who's out there. And, I know quite a few top tier men. I know a lot of high value guys. I know a lot of wealthy guys, millionaires. I know 2 billionaires that I actually know. The way they move is way different than the way other folks move. So we're going to get into that. So the one thing, I guess the first point, if you want to, get with that type of guy, right? Because their time is very important, right? I will say one of the first thing, and these things I'm going to suggest is no particular order. They're just kind of out there. It's not like, oh, this is the most important, this is the least important. I think they're all equally important. When you're dealing with a guy, you're dealing with a top tier guy, you're dealing with a high status man, hardworking man, right? Get to the point when you're communicating with him, right? Get to the point. When there's something serious going on, there's something he needs to know about you or the two of you or something. When you're sitting him down, get to the point as fast as you can. Because if you don't, his mind is going to drift to whatever he has going on. He is constantly thinking about getting the bread, making moves, his network, right? He's constantly thinking about meetings he just had, a meeting he's going to have here in the future. He's thinking about, all right, this move over here, did I make it? What's up with this money I parked over there? He's waiting for those calls to come through and his phone is going to be going off constantly. So if you're sitting there, blah, 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 and just kind of all over the place like a butterfly and you're not getting to the point, you might lose him. He might not care. He might just stop, check out, grab his phone and start sending text messages, checking his emails,
Why? Because he's a busy guy. He's got stuff going on. That's what it is. Hey, we got Brother Lincoln in the building. What's good? We got Dallas in the building. He's talking about how to get me and keep me. LOL. Get the likes up. Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, man. I'm not sure if we get a lot of people on this live, man, but we'll do good on team replay. We'll definitely do good when we cut this up and do some shorts. But get to the point, ladies. If you're dealing with a guy, a top tier guy, he's busy. He's got a lot going on. Even if he's sitting there, he doesn't look busy. Trust me, his mind is racing. He's going through his mental notes. He's remembering things. He's like grabbing his phone. He's probably not even on the phone texting or talking. He's probably in his calendar. Did I get this done? Did I get that done? And he cares about you. If you got to this point where you're there, you're in his space, he cares about you. He want to know what's going on, but he needs you to get to the point. Ladies, like just the facts. Especially when you're like, I need to talk to you, get to the point. All right. And also protect the brand on that same level. You with a guy like that. You with a guy who's up there making his money, doing his thing. He's put in the work. He's constantly doing the work. You need to protect that brand. If you guys have come together and y'all, you're trying to get there with him, yes, you're his woman, and if he's really feeling that way about you, if he really believes that you're his woman, you guys are engaged, if not married, right? Top tier guys ain't gonna mess. They're gonna mess around with that. If you're the one, he's right away. He's gonna be on that, right? Of course, it's gonna be paperwork. Of course, it's gonna be prenups and all that kind of stuff, generally speaking. But he's gonna let you know that what you guys are doing is going to end in something official, right? So if you're that woman, then you need to protect that brand. What y'all have come together, y'all have merged, and now y'all have a brand. You have to protect that brand. I got friends out there who are fiercely protective of their brand as a married couple. I mean, you better not try to come between them. You better not mess up their brand. They are all about it and have been about that for decades. Right? If you want that long-term commitment, you want it to work, that's one of the things you got to do. Protect that brand. Like, don't play with it. Ladies, don't play with it. Be about it. Because if you don't take it serious and you're not protecting that brand, he's going to see it and his close people are going to see it. And he's like, all right, man, we made a mistake. Let's go ahead. Let's back out of this. That's what the prenup's for. Let's back out of this. We ain't even tied a knot yet. Fine, man. She can keep the ring, but I'm moving on. If you don't protect the brand, you're not gonna keep that guy. You must protect the brand, right? So keep that in mind. We got Can I Get Some Podcast? What's good, D? How you feeling, bro? How you feeling? Recognize he is about the big picture, so don't bother him with the minor details. Great point. Great point. And that goes to that getting to the point thing, protecting the brand. You are there because, and we're gonna get to this down, in the bottom. We're gonna get to this later, but you are there because you add value. Your value add is he doesn't have to sweat the small stuff because you are there holding it down. So that's perfect, bro. Recognize he is about the big picture. Facts. So you got to take care of everything else. And he knows when you come to him with something, it's something real. That's why he's going to stop what he's doing. He's going to sit there and he's going to listen to you. That's why you have to be direct and to the point. And he knows that she's holding down the brand, so he's going to listen, right? These are very important things. Yeah, there's going to be the fluffy stuff and y'all love each other and all that and whatever. But sometimes you got to put that off to the side. The love is always there. The commitment is always there, right? The respect is always there. But you got to understand, like, yo, this is real. Let's get into this because you are his right hand, his better half. So don't waste his time in a conversation where you're trying to get all over the place, trying to get to the point. Right? And Brother D continues to like, don't ask him if you should wear a blue or red dress. If he has a preference, he will let you know. Facts. And a lot of times, I mean, there are going to be moments when, there's some downtime or you guys are in the bedroom getting ready for something and it's just a few moments. His mind is still going to be on stuff, but yeah. If you want to say, hey, the blue or the red one, honey, and he's going to look up and he's going to say whatever because he really doesn't care. Right? So if he nods or says whatever, that's fine. If you say the blue one or the red one, he's like the red one, they're like, but I really like the blue one. Don't do that. Don't do that. that becomes annoying, especially if ladies like you really mad about it. Don't do that. He's definitely gonna be like, okay, where'd this come from? Right. And again, that's gonna be all part of the vetting process, though. So if he's you blue the red one and he says whatever color he says, fine. If you hold him up, blue the red one, he says, I want the blue one, and then he leaves the room and then you come out wearing a yellow dress, he probably won't even comment on it. And then don't get mad when he doesn't notice. Oh, well, you picked the blue, but I brought out the yellow. You fine. You doing you. You looking good. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. You can make a joke about it, and y'all can have that little banter back and forth, but don't make it serious, right? Don't make it serious. Last good man in Jersey's in the building. What's good, fam? What's up with you? Like, what's up, DM and fans stopping by to drop a like, man? I appreciate that, bro. Thank you very much. So, get to the point. Protect the brand. All right. And then moving on. Ladies, you want to be his piece. Ladies, you want to be his piece. You want to be the reason he rushes home. You want to be the reason in the back of his mind he wants to get this meeting over, right? He wants to get these documents signed and he wants to get everything squared away. He wants to get home to you. Why? Because you provide his peace. You are his fortress of solitude. You are the reasons he out here busting his butt. You are the reason. You got him. You're there. You're protecting the brand, right? You get to the point when things are important. You don't bother him with trivial stuff. You are his peace. He cannot wait to get home to you. But you must be his peace. If he gets home and there's drama, even a little bit of drama, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem because if he can't find peace at home, he's going to find it somewhere else. He might find it in the office, right? And who's going to be in the office with him? His secretary, his personal assistant. He might find peace with them. He might find it on the boat because y'all got a yacht. And he's like, I just need to come over here and get my head right, man. I ain't got time to go home and deal with her, right? If you're not his peace, you are pushing him away from your home, the home that y'all have built together. You are keeping him away from y'all empire. You are not protecting the brand. You must be his peace. Find somebody else to wow out on, right? You must be the peace, right? You cannot be his trauma. You don't want to be his trauma. You don't. Again, I can't. I've been in a few relationships in my day, right? I've been in a few. Count them on your hands. I've been in a few, and I'm telling you, the times. I mean, I could think of 3 or 4 times when I did not want to go home. It was going to be some drama. I knew it was going to be some drama. I did not want to go home. That is always the beginning of the end. Because if I'm not home, I'm somewhere else. And there's going to be someone else when I'm somewhere else. You feel me? You must be his peace. You want to be the reason he runs home. I've been, I network with a lot of powerful people. And I know some guys, man, like very, very powerful men, millionaires, you know what I mean? I don't know this about the billionaires because I didn't get to spend that much time with them, but I know a lot of millionaires, and I'm talking, double and triple digit millionaires, right? Running multi-million-dollar corporations. And some of those guys, the happiest dudes, were the ones who ran home at the end of a busy day. They ran home. They couldn't wait to get home. They would be irritated when the meetings went too long, when guys started blah, 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 because they wanted to get home to their wife. They wanted to get home to their significant other. They wanted to. Why? Because she was his peace. That's how he recharged. That's how he stayed sharp. He would go home to her and she was right there. I mean, he had to have her, right? That's who you want to be. You want to be his peace, not his trauma, right? So remember that. Y'all trying, and we talking about top tier dudes now. And a lot of people are thinking like, well, what's the difference between the top tier and the rest of them? Well, when you get to the middle tier and the bottom tier, they'll tolerate a lot more. They'll tolerate a lot more. You don't have to be his piece necessarily. It'd be nice if you were, but he ain't gonna leave you because it's a little more carnal with him. He's like, no matter what, she's still here. I'm gonna get some. At some point, I might get some every 2 or 3 months. That's enough for him. And he'll deal with all that other nonsense just to have that sexual access. I know it sounds crazy, ladies, but it's true. Men are all driven sexually. At least we used to be. I don't know what's going on now. Testosterone levels are dropping. Dudes aren't fertile. You know what I mean? It just, that's dropping. They say it's something in the water. I don't know. You know what I mean? That's another episode for another day. I'll have to get my tinfoil hat out for that one. But the lower status dudes will tolerate a whole lot more. The top tier dudes, the guys who have options, they will not. They will not. Right? So be his peace, not his trauma. Let me catch up on this chat real quick. I am the single ones in the building. What's good, sis? Good to see you. So glad you're here. Share the live. Share the live. And come in with a like. Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. Brother Ted. Ted's in the building. What's good, fam? What's good, fam? I'm so glad you're here, man. Thanks for coming through. And like I said, this show is for the ladies. I hope they show up. I'm really looking forward to seeing Miss AKA Lady. And if we get real lucky, Miss Globe Girl show up. I would love to hear what they have to say about some of this stuff. But we got I Am the Single One in the building, a beautiful sister, hardworking sister. Yo, if you guys are anywhere in the Chicago, greater Chicago area, y'all need to hit up I Am the Single One. She will put you on. Matter of fact, let me give you a wrench, sis. So you can drop links to your page if you don't mind. You can drop links, tell people how to find you. She's in the real estate game. You want to go and find yourself a nice residential home, you need to holler at I Am the Single One in the Chicago area. She's about her business. If you got any questions about that nightlife, about that cultural nightlife, not just going out there and partying. Nah, she don't do that. She goes out and goes to the coolest concerts. You want to find out where the art exhibits are and where the cool stuff is going on, probably spoken word and stuff like that. Definitely, just like normal concerts with the coolest musicians in town. Holler at I Am the Single One. Check out her space. You know what I mean? Check out her space. Love, what's the name of your other page? I Am the Single One. And then I can't remember the name of your page offhand, love, but drop that in there. Let me know. But she's doing it big, y'all. She's doing it big. You know what I mean? And there it is, her main page right there. Please go ahead and hit that up. She's doing it big. And she is the single one. So anybody out there thinking you're going to go over there and be like, ooh, she's beautiful. You think you're going to pop in there and holla, 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 holla. She is the single one. So if you're successful, more power to you. I hope you are. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's get back to what we were talking about. Like, Brother D, can I get some podcast? When when I'm in a room where other men are present, make sure that those other men know that your name is, that's protecting the brand. Yeah. So he's saying basically when you're in a room, other men are present and you with your man, you're with your dude, you with that top tier dude, make sure they know. They know off rip. Like the first thing. Hey, hello, love. How are you? Who are you? I'm Mrs. Saint. You know what I mean? You want to come. That's the first thing you want to say. That adds status. That's protecting the brand. Right? That's letting people know, back off. And it's just such a huge sign of respect, right? Yeah, absolutely, bro. I agree with you 100%. Do that for real. Casual Germs in the building, and he's in Chicago. Yeah, man, you definitely need to follow her, bro. She be at some of the coolest stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, man, next time I'm in Chicago, I'm definitely gonna hit you up, shorty. I want to go to some of those concerts you be at. You know what I mean? And her, her link is in the chat, guys. So feel free to hit that, man. Like and subscribe over there. So let's move on. Right, ladies, this is a big one. Like I said, these are in no particular order or whatever, but ladies, especially when this is for the early stages, like you're trying to get on this top tier guy, this high value man's radar, right? Just like when you first meet or whatever, you must manage your expectations. You must manage your expectations. This is can't be more serious than this. This is so serious right now, right? Life is not a movie. It is not scripted. No one wrote it. You must manage your expectations. You have no idea who you're dealing with. All you know is this guy's a top tier guy. So, ladies, if you're into him and he is financially successful, he is tall, he is handsome, he is in shape, he has all the toys, he pulled up in the you name the car, right? He has properties all over the place, nice townhouse, nice big old home in the suburbs. He flies first class or private sometimes. He's very witty, very charming, very funny. If he's all these things, best believe every woman in the room is trying to get on with him. Every single woman, some of the married women trying to get on. So you need to manage your expectations. So many women that see a dude and they're like, this mine, I got it. And all you're doing is possibly setting yourself up for failure, because here's the thing. He gonna smash, right? You go in there if you want to. And if he likes what he sees, you walking around and you flirting and you putting the twins on him, like you leaning up on him, you putting the twins on his elbow so he can feel what you got up here, and you brushing up against him with, you know what I'm saying, with shoot, you got that, you know what I'm saying? You hitting him with that bow bow. You turn around and you lean up and, put them cheeks on him. He's going, okay, I see what she doing. Bet. Let's see if she want to, he might go right downtown to the Ritz-Carlton. Well, let's say y'all meet at some event, y'all in a top tier hotel. He might go right down to the desk or pull out his phone and book himself a nice little suite, just so he could take you up to the suite as soon as y'all leave up at that event, and really get to know them cheeks, really get to see them twins. You feel me? Manage your expectations. That guy is not starved for companionship. Every woman is trying to get at him. Every woman. So you must manage your expectations and just keep it 100. You're probably not gonna get him. Right? You got to be ready for that. Probably not gonna get him. Shooting game in him is like getting a winning lottery ticket. It's gonna be hard. You feel me? It's gonna be hard. So you have to plan that out. So manage your expectations. We got Brother Jack in the building. What's good, Night? Good to see you. Glad you come through. You got to manage your expectations. I've seen so many women just get crushed. Personally, they just, they're sad and they went after that guy. They went after that charming dude, and boom, it was the one-nighter. It was the one-nighter because that's the way she threw herself at him like that. She had a great body, always working out, fine. She's kind of cute. Dude took her up on her offer. All right. Because it is a competition, isn't it? A lot of women don't like to admit it, but it's a competition. I know when I go after a beautiful woman, I'm competing with somebody. I know I'm not her only option. Men understand that at every tier. Men understand that. There's no way this woman is single. 85% of the women I come across today tell me that they're single. 85%. I'm single. And then when you press them a little bit, more than half of that number is like, okay, I'm in a situationship. So I'm like, all right, but I know for a fact that probably less than 5% of women out there are not dealing with any guy whatsoever. Especially the attractive ones. They always have joystick on demand. Every woman. Right? Because it's different for men and women. So I know going in, I'm competing with somebody. And my job is to figure out who am I competing with? Not, I don't want to see him in a room or whatever, but I'm like, who is that guy to her? Is he, right? Because obviously he hasn't committed to her because she would gladly say, yeah, I got a man. If that was the case, so she already knows like it's something there. So either she's chasing him or she is in his rotation and she just kind of like not quite the side piece, but it's like maybe his number 2, number 3, or she is the side piece, right? So when I hit, I know so I'm like, who am I competing with? Because if I'm competing with the guy who has her as simply the side piece, I got a real good chance of, winning her over, right? Because I'm offering her something better than side piece. Or I can offer you a number 2 slot. Or I might be able to offer you the number 1 slot. So I got a real good chance of beating out that guy because I'm offering the position that's way better than side piece. You know what I mean? Or back in the day when I ran rotations, I might be like, well, look, I'm offering you a number 2 slot. You're my number 2. I can offer you my number 2 slot. He's got you down as like his the 3rd string, 4th string side piece. So I'm offering, you feel me? That's how I'm looking at it. Ladies, you gotta look at it that way. Manage your expectations. Right? Be careful, because more than likely, dude got game. He's got some sort of game. And he's gonna adjust quickly to the situation. He's gonna be doing what I just said on some level. He's like, okay, well, who am I competing against? What can I offer her? He might not offer you the number 2 slot, right? But he can offer experiences. I can give her an experience. So it's like, all right, so what's good? You cute, you cool, you know what I mean? You handle yourself well. You ain't tripping when you see me talking to these other women. I work in the room. You want to go to Miami? You want to go to LA? You want to go to Montreal? You want to go to Mexico City? He might be able to offer that. And a lot of women, especially today, man, they'll take that. That's a great experience. She still keeps her slot with whoever she messing with, right? She's still like the 1st string, 2nd string side piece. But now she get to go out, get some stamps. Get your passport out, baby. About to get some stamps. Want to go to London? Going to London. Right? Going to Frankfurt. You want to go to Frankfurt? Going to Paris. You want to go to the Louvre? You want to come? He might be able to offer that. Now, of course, that comes with no strings attached. You coming over there, you staying in a nice hotel room, staying in a suite. You're eating good, sleeping good, smashing good. It's an experience. And you come back home, it's like, all right, talk to you later. You get back to whatever it is you're doing, your side piece, or you could be like the number 2, number 3 in the rotation. That ain't going nowhere. So trust and believe that guy is doing that. He's all right, cool, she's fine. And so you got to understand that. Which brings us to our next point, right? Our next point. When you're dealing with top tier men, ladies, sex is a given. Sex is a given. It's going to happen when you're dealing with a top tier man. It's going to happen. It's not, right? When we talk about sex is a given. It's the starting line. It's not the finish line. When you're talking about that, right? You're going to smash. If you're not going to smash, he's going to move on, period. I'm not saying that it's nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it's nothing. But what I am saying is it doesn't mean as much to the top tier guy as it does to the woman. She's giving herself to this guy. Every woman wants to give herself to that guy. So sex is a foregone conclusion. It is a foregone conclusion. So many women put such a high emphasis on that Foxy Brown. Right now, with the lower tiers, yeah, it carries more weight. It carries a lot more weight with the lower tiers because the lower tier guys, they're not operating from the position of abundance. The top tier guys are. So when you dealing with a top tier guy, he gonna smash. It's a foregone conclusion. Now, a lot of women are like, well, I just don't want to give myself to any old body. It's like, well, you're not a virgin, baby. You're not a virgin. A lot of women, like from former relationships, right, were married or long-term relationships. Some have children. It's like, bro, we're not even gonna get into the whole child thing because that's such an uphill battle. If you have a child and you're trying to deal with a top tier guy, the chances of you securing that top tier guy is about equal to the chances of you winning $1 billion lotto, man. For real. I'm just keeping it as 100 as I possibly can. So we gonna table that for a minute. The whole we're talking about women who are women who don't have any kids, who are beautiful, got their body together, who are looking good. I'm talking about women who are like 7, 8, 9s, and 10s, right? Even down to 6, really. 6, 7, 8, 9s, and 10s. These women who are all above average, at least a step above average, right? These are the women we're talking about pursuing top tier guys. Sex is a given. It is a given. You feel me? Brother D is like, managing expectations is key. Expect him to be busy a lot. Facts. We got Scam Likely in the building. What's good, Dusto? Uncle Saint was making deals back in the day. Been proud, yeah, bro. I was making deals back in the day, man. Again, but back in the day was so different than it is now. That'd be a different show, like how it was back in the day versus how it is now. I'd actually have to do an interview with a young guy who's out there killing it. I could get like a young G, a young top tier guy, get him in here, and then we can compare notes on the way it used to be versus the way it is now. It's a different show. You know what I mean? That'd definitely be a different show. But I'm telling you, sex is a given. Brother Chris Smokey House in the building. What's good, fam? Good evening to you. Thanks for coming through. Ooh, we got red lipstick vibes in the building. What's good, sis? Good to see you. Please. I look forward to y'all comments on what I'm talking about. Yo, if I'm talking bullshit, let me know. If I'm speaking facts, let me know. For you old school players out there and pimps or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? If I'm giving you the ism, man, go ahead and tell me church. You know what I mean? Go ahead and tell me. Don't be afraid to call church, bro. But I'm just letting y'all know. If that's what you're trying to do, if you out here, you really trying to secure yourself a top tier man, ladies, sex is a given. Absolute given. Right? So I do have women like, look, man, like I ain't trying to run my body count up like that. I ain't a freak like that anyway. What do I do? It's like, well, you got to run a different kind of play. You got to plan it out. Right? So all's fair in love and war, right? So I'm a big fan of that phrase, and I agree with it. All is fair in love and war, right? Now I'm not saying outright lie, but I'm just saying you need to plan your shit out. Right? Now you hunting a top tier guy, you got to stalk your prey. Now you got to know what he wants, right? Because if a top tier guy keeps you around and y'all are supposed to be on a romantic plane, y'all supposed to be getting at each other, and you're not giving him any sexual access, none. Like you ain't giving him no foreplay, you ain't giving him no dome, you ain't giving him like the you know what I mean? You ain't giving him the hand massage, you ain't giving him the happy ending, nothing. You ain't giving him nothing, right? Okay, cool. That's noble. And a lot of women like, that's just gonna set me apart from everybody else. It will definitely set you apart from everybody else, and you will be cut loose from everybody else if you don't have a plan. So if your intent is to withhold sex from a top tier guy, you have to add immense value. You have to be so valuable to him that he's going to keep you around, even though you ain't giving him none. And you're going to also have to figure out a way that you're still a potential romantic prospect, because the guy's like, well, look, she ain't trying to smash, but man, she's indispensable to what we're doing. Without her, I never would have gotten this account off the ground, or without her, my thumbnails would be jacked up. Without her, I wouldn't have been able to book that comedy show in Kansas City. Right. So I'm like, well, look, top tier guys like, well, you bringing in money. You the goose that laid the golden eggs. I ain't got to smash you. He's about to put you in the friend zone, or more to the point, the business zone. He gonna put you in the business zone. He gonna want you by his side all the time for the money aspect of it. He's going to be able to leverage your beauty. He's going to be able to leverage your demeanor, like, because you're going to make him look good. You're going to be able to hold these conversations. You're going to be taking care of business for him. It's like you become a business partner. He's not even thinking about the sex, and you're going to see him running his game on all these other women. That's where you're going to find yourself. So you have to figure out a way. Like if this is your plan, I'm going to withhold sex from this guy. You got to figure out a way that he doesn't put you into the friend zone. He doesn't put you into the business zone. He still wants to be with you and have a relationship with you on a romantic level, right? And he's still gonna keep you around. You got to figure that out. You're gonna, again, your value add is gonna have to be so great that he has to have you by his side, right? So you got to figure that part out, which means you're gonna have to study your prey. You have to figure out what he needs. You need to insert yourself in such a way that he's trying to get you. You sexy and whatever, you flirting. He's trying to get at you, right? And I would say use religion. I'm very religious. You know, this is where the finesse comes in. You're gonna have to lead him on to believe that you've only had maybe a high school sweetheart or something. Like, yeah, I've only been in 2 relationships. So let him think like your body count is extremely low. You really, really care about your body count. And no one from your past can show up. Because if if you're gonna build this world to have him believe that you don't have a lot of sexual experience, you're beautiful, you're sharp, right? You're interested in him, he's interested in you, and you have no intention of letting him get that Foxy Brown until you're ready. Your value add has to be up there. So you need to know exactly how he needs you to add value. Figure that out. And that'll keep you around. And like you said, he can grab the cheeks or whatever. He can get a kiss in every now and then. You know what I'm saying? He might be able to, so long as your clothes is on, his hands might be able to roam a little bit, so long as your clothes is on, right? You might let him get the first base, second base, but that's it. Ain't no third. You ain't going home. You're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to, but understand when you do that, you're on you just, ooh, he's only gonna, you feel me? He's only gonna tolerate that for so long. That's why your value add has to be so high. You know what I mean? That's why your value add has to be so high. So if you intend to withhold sex, you need a plan. You need a plan. These top tier guys, the average top tier guy, he is not waiting more than 3 days, like a 3-day rule, or 3 days or 3 encounters. That's it. The first 3 times he see you, y'all gotta be smashing. If y'all ain't smashing within the first 3 times, he's done moved on. You're a friend or friend zone, business zone for you. He ain't even thinking about it. He's done moved on. Right? So that's what you got to figure out. The sex does not help you. The lack of sex hurts you when you're dealing with a top tier guy. So if you can figure out how to keep him wanting you and allowing you to be in his world, adding value on a romantic level without giving him the Foxy Brown, you won the game. That'll buy you at least a month, maybe 2, 3 tops. But the problem is you're going to be, you will know when he's done chasing you, because he'll start bringing other women around you. The minute he starts bringing other women around you, he stops flirting with you. He stops kissing. He stops trying to, put the hand between the golden thighs. He stops trying to do all that. That means he'll found someone else to fill his time. So your plan has to be solid from day 1 to day 180 on how you're going to do this. The value add is the key. If you can bring him business and you can help him grow his business and, 10x what he's doing, he's going to want you by his side. Now, the key is, are you going to be his woman or are you going to be his business partner? That's the key. So I know I talked around that a lot. I didn't really give you any foolproof plan because it's going to be individualized. But I think y'all get my point, right? Sex is extremely important. Top tier guys ain't waiting for it. They ain't waiting for it. They ain't got to take it, right? Women are gladly giving them all the Foxy Brown they can handle. Like I said, 3 days, the first 3 days, the 3-day rule is in full effect. These dudes now they might go less than that. It might be, these dudes might be expecting it within the first 18 hours, 18 to 24 hours. I'm serious. Like the real top tier guys, they might be expecting it right away. So that's the challenge. That is absolutely the challenge. If you can figure that out, you've already established that value add, that, you've set yourself apart from the rest of the pack because he did wait the longest. He waited a longer time with you because you were bringing him money, and still managed to keep that romantic tie. You were able to keep him interested in the goods way longer than the rest of the girls because they just smashed him right away. They're doing threesomes and doing all kind of stuff. He's definitely going to respect that. It's like, wow, she's serious about her count. Wow, she proved to me that she's willing to, to wait or whatever. If you can figure that out, then you solid. The value add is the key. The value add is the key. And then you kind of know him a little bit, and then he's gonna holler at you. Now, the big thing, ladies, is when you're doing this, Myron Gaines over the Fresh and Fit podcast says this all the time, and it carries a lot of weight, and it's something that needs to be discussed. Having a top tier man, having a high value man, you may have to share him. Seriously, you may have to, depending on the guy, depending on his age and where he is in that spectrum. He might not be done, spreading his royal seed. You may have to share him, right? And like the win in those cases is getting him to propose to you. You marry him, you get the last name, you have his children, bam, you good. There are some guys out there who have gotten it out of their system for the most part, and they get their wife and she adds that value, and she is his better part, not his better part, but his better half. She protects the brand. She does all that stuff we were talking about. There's a good chance that he's like, okay, I'm gonna be faithful. But most of those guys, they step out from time to time. I'm just gonna keep it 100. They step out from time to time. It's just going to happen. So you might have to share him to some extent. So that's just something. That's just a little caveat, little asterisk in there. You might have to share him to some extent. Hopefully you get a guy who's going to be upfront about it. You get a guy who's going to tell you the truth, but most of these dudes, they won't. That's where that whole thing, all's fair and loving war. Yeah, he's going. You ran your plan to get him, to finesse him, and you were able to hold out on giving him, sexual gratification and all that for longer than any other woman you held out for, 3 months. 3 months, like, wow, 90 days. You know what I mean? I don't really see a dude waiting longer than that, but let's say you managed to stretch it out to even like 6 months, 180 days before y'all did anything. Right? All right, that would be great. Hopefully you'll get a guy to tell you the truth and say, hey, every now and then I'm probably going to mess around. Like if I'm down in Colombia, or if I'm over in, Eastern Europe or wherever, I'm in Paris, I'm going to do a little something or whatever. But, you are my everything. Most dudes ain't going to tell you that. They're going to say the dream. Of course, baby, you're my only one. I don't even see these other women are just disgusting. Yeah, all right. He's doing this thing. So, just, live in that ignorance if you want to. It's going to be bliss. And like we said, you're going to have to sign a prenup in most cases anyway. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's catch up on the chat. I think we're pretty good. And let's see. I'm the single one, and she should be well compensated for the above mentioned. That's going to, yeah. It depends on the guy. There are men out there, especially when money really ain't a thing. Like when you talk about the really high earners, yeah, they're gonna get you the best. They're gonna want their woman in the best. Absolutely. You the number one. Yeah. You definitely gonna have all of the baseline Hermes purses. You're gonna have all the top line Birkins. You're gonna get that for you. You're gonna have all the red bottoms. You know what I mean? All the Louboutins, all of them. You know what I mean? You're gonna have the boots, the big old spiky heels. You're gonna have the gym shoes. You're gonna have them all. You're gonna, Chanel. You're gonna have that. You know what I mean? You're gonna have Louis. You're gonna have that. You're gonna have it all. Youre. You're gonna come home and that's just what they do, man. They're gonna come home and just because they're happy to see you, and they're gonna hand you a box. Inside that box is gonna be like the latest Youre bag or whatever. If that's what you into. There's some dudes out there who are just oblivious and lightweight assholes. If you choose that guy, you get what you get. But if you find yourself a legit good guy, top tier man, legit good guy, he's gonna know what you like. He's gonna bring home what you want. He's gonna bring home what's the name of the clover necklaces? Is it Van something? Van I can't remember. Y'all can tell me in the chat what's the name of the jewelry all the women are wearing now. He'll definitely bring you that in every color. You know what I mean? Get you the green ones, the red ones, the pearl ones. You know what I mean? The gold, the platinum, the bracelets. He'll get you all that. Absolutely. Get you all of the Cartier stuff. He'll get you all that. Yeah, Van Cleef. Thank you. I am a single one. She knows what it is. Yeah, she knows what it is. He'll get you all that. Those are the men you want. And we're talking about that type of dude. We're talking about a good guy. We're not talking about the assholes. We're not talking about the liars and the cheaters and the scammers and all that, the criminals. We're talking about the good dudes, right? Like I said, I'm just trying to keep it 100. That guy is more than likely that guy is going to step out every now and then. He's going to step out every night. He's not going to bring home different babies and all that kind of stuff. He's not going to be carrying on like texting and sexting and all that with other women. He's not going to be doing all that. But, you know, if he's in, you know, Geneva on business and on the last day he's in Geneva and he's at the bar having a couple drinks and some dime walks up, just another woman who's married or whatever, I mean, they might blow off steam together. It might be something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that movie George Clooney did, I think it was Up in the Air or something like that, when he was flying all over the place. It like that in that movie. Like he's messing around with a woman, fell in love with her, you know, because he was like cynical and never believed in love and all that. But the other young woman that was with him was like, no, you got to believe in love. You got to go take chances. And he finally, like, you know, came away from his normal way of being, gave into his emotions, and come to find out the woman was married. Right? It's gonna be some of that. Top tier guys, top earners, they're out there doing their thing. It's gonna be something that the ideal, prince in shining armor who is completely loyal to his woman, and that is so hard to find. Are there dudes out there like that don't mess around? Yes, there are. I know one. Right? I ain't exaggerating. I know one. Ain't never cheated on his wife and never will. I know one. So you're just gonna have to, that comes with the territory, right? So, but yeah, that Van Cleef, thank you. Appreciate that. Van Cleef ain't no joke either, y'all. I was shopping, not for me, not for anyone that I associate with. I was with my cousin, you know what I mean? She's a proper 1%er. That's where I get all my information on this stuff. And I'll be out with her shopping. We was looking at Van Cleef. Whew, boy. Man, she pull out her credit card, man. The bank get nervous. Like, oh no. What's she swiping on? The bank get nervous. And like, that's when I, you know, saw my first Birkin and, you know, all the stuff that I know about fashion wise and all that, I learned from her. I just be sitting there right with her like, wow, that costs how much? Like, wow. But that's that world. Brother Chris Smokey Hat, expecting within 18 hours. Like, laughing, that's hilarious and true. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I mean, in today's sexual marketplace, women are about it, bro. I mean, it seems in the past 10 to 15 years, it's never been easier to meet a woman and be smashing. I mean, like within a matter of like 8 to 10 hours. And it's not just in the big cities either. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I had better results in the smaller cities. But the big cities, it's like, boy, Miami, LA, San Diego, right? New York. Bro, I don't know what it is. Blame it on the alcohol, I guess, like Jamie Foxx says. But they going, bro. They going. So let's recap before we get to the last one. I'm gonna recap and then I'm gonna drop the link. All right. So we were saying the things that help you get and or keep a top tier, high value man, right? If you ladies, this is for y'all. Get to the point when you're having the conversations with said guy, right? Get to the point, protect the brand. So once you guys get together, protect y'all brand. You guys are a merger, protect the brand. When you're talking to him and it's something serious, get to the point. Don't be all over the place. Get to the point. Don't waste his time. Be his peace, not his trauma. It's major. Be his peace. You manage to get yourself a top tier guy. You want to be his peace for sure, not his trauma. You want him to rush home to you every single night. You want him coming home. He can't wait to see you. He comes through the door. He always comes up behind you. He embraces you and kisses you, right? He wants to be there. Be his peace. not his trauma. If you are his trauma, he ain't coming home. He will go everywhere else before he goes home. Right? So be his peace, not his trauma. Manage expectations when you're going after these top tier guys. Understand who you're dealing with. Manage those expectations. Yeah, you might have to sharing. Yeah, he might step out from time to time. It comes with the territory. He's very powerful, very passionate, very hardworking. And he's out there. Remember, he's one of the most sought after men on the planet. If you want him, every woman wants him. And there's some beautiful women out there who are in relationships. They would love to have him, but they know they can't. But they'll love to just borrow him for the night. Right? So manage your expectations going in. Know who you're dealing with. Know what this all comes with, right? Sex is a given when you're dealing with these types of dudes. It's not the starting line, right? It's the finish. I mean, it's not the starting line. It's not the finishing line. Sex is just a given, right? I couldn't read my own handwriting. That's why I had to look at the paper. Like, what did I write here? Sex doesn't carry the same weight with the top tier guys as it does with the guys in the lower tiers. So remember that. Remember that. You can only withhold sex for so long with these top tier dudes before he cuts you loose. Remember that. If you want to go and you want to withhold sex, you better have a plan. And we talked about that. You better have a plan. And understand, I think the most you're going to be able to hold out is 90 days. And I think that would be amazing if you can do it. I think the most you can hold out is 3 months. And how do you keep him attracted to you and not bothered by the fact you're not, having sex with him? Is because you add so much value. You are so valuable to him. That's how. You have to figure out what that is. You have to figure out how to insert yourself and add that value. So sex is a given, y'all. Ladies, understand that. It's a given. You're dealing with top tier guys, it's a given. That's why Brother Chris was talking about, yeah, these dudes be smashing in a matter of hours, like 18 hours or less. Facts. Brother Chris with the $5 super chat, man. Appreciate you, bro. It's like, I gotta run. Keep producing great content. I will always support vets up. Appreciate you. I see you, Marine. I see you. Thank you so much, Devil Dog. Right. And he gotta go. He's probably going to pray because Marines, they got a special way of praying. You want to hear it? Here it go.
Pray. This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
That's how Marines pray. I see you, Devil Dog. I'll talk to you later, Chris, man. I appreciate you, brother. Truly appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through. We're going to keep this content coming. So let me drop the link for those who might want to come up and talk. You're definitely welcome. Drop the link right here. Pastes. Bam, there it is. And I'm going to say the last point. My last point of, 5 things you can do to help yourself get a top tier man and, more importantly, retain a top tier man. Right? And we've already talked about this. Add value. We touched on this a little bit, but you must add value. It was so important that we got to reiterate it. Your value add has to be superior to all the other women. So, and when you're with the top tier guy, like we just said, sex is a given, right? All these women are smashing, whatever. Most of the women who are out there in these circles around these top tier guys, all they really have is their beauty and their sexuality. I'm just keeping it 100. That's all they got. You can see it all the time. And whether you're hanging around with these YouTubers, these new millionaires, right? Or you're hanging around with celebrities, or you're hanging around with rappers, or you're hanging around with thugs, or you're hanging around with politicians, right? The same type of women can be found in these circles. And the only thing that they are adding, their only value is sex and beauty, with the emphasis on the sex. And that's it. That's only going to get you so far, right? Like we said, it's a given. It's a given. You look at someone like Brittany Renner, right? And they talking about her like YouTube is going crazy about her because she was on Club Shay Shay talking to Shannon Sharp. And she's like, yeah, I slept with 36 men or something like that. We all know that's a low ball number. We all know that's a low ball number. But what does she use? What does she use? Her sexuality. And how has it served her? It hasn't served her well at all. I mean, well, you know, it got her locked into a NBA guy. She has a baby by him. She's gonna have, you know, money and be able to raise her child and have that kind of access. But outside the rest, what value does she add? None. Like Brother Cody's in the building. Objects. What's good, fam? So if you're the one that adds value, even if it's just you don't complain, that's a value add. That's gonna set you above the average because they're sitting around complaining with the long nails. They don't want to do nothing, but they want to go everywhere. They want every experience, but they feel they're entitled because they got a big booty, they got a nice BBL or breast job or whatever. They got the fillers and the plugs and the Botox or whatever. That wears off as soon as they see you. It's over. They just see you as a piece of meat and they just want to smash, right? But if you're the one who's popping up and running over to tell the VIP host or hostess that, hey, we need more soda. We need more Coca-Cola. Hey, we need more ice. If you're the one going over there taking care, like putting out little fires, right? If you're the one when he's sitting there drinking and his drink gets low, right? Let's say he's drinking cognac, right? His drink is low and you know he likes his cognac with, he doesn't like the big ice cube that everybody's been like, that's how you're supposed to drink. He likes the small crushed ice. If you make sure there's crushed ice and you put crushed ice in there and then you put his cognac in the glass, he's gonna notice all that. You know, people laugh at me when I say it, but I'm like, oh, if you make him a sandwich. He's sitting around watching, let's say he's a sports head and he's sitting around, he's watching college football. And if you go and you make him a nice turkey and roast beef sandwich or whatever he likes, or if you go and get him a smoothie or something, he's going to notice. Those are small value adds that go a long, long way, right? The big value add is when you see holes in his business. Shout out to Fresh Prince CEO. I'm Fresh and Fit. Fresh talks about this all the time, and I have to co-sign on this because he's completely right. If you see that the guy that you're trying to get, this top tier guy, you see a hole in his operation, whatever it is he's trying to do, you see that he needs some help with that, and you plug that hole, you take care of that issue. Like he goes off to a meeting, and he comes back. And he sees that you have set up his schedule for next week. She's like, look, I heard you talking last night and, you saying you're trying to find yourself an assistant. You lost your assistant for whatever reason. I know you're trying to get another one. So I just went ahead and took the initiative, man. I set these meetings up for you. I went through the notes that your assistant left and, I kind of went over your calendar for the next 60 days. I was able to rearrange it because you know what's going on. It's like, hey, I noticed you had booked this event and it was, the date was wrong. So I was able to switch that for you. Now you're open to go. You can go hit this golfing tournament now because I made this, I fixed this for you. You're doing stuff like that. And then he's like, oh man, this is amazing. I really appreciate it. Thank you. No problem. In fact, if you want, I can help you out until you find yourself a qualified assistant. Just let me know. It's not a biggie. I can give you at least 60 days. And then you show him, like you give him programs. Hey, this program will work. All you gotta do is talk it to your phone, and then it'll add stuff or to send me this or send me that, and I can update your calendar. I can, if you do that, you insert yourself into this man's business life and you become essential. That's it. That's the value add that they're talking about. You notice we're not talking about sex. We're not talking about rubbing his feet. We're not talking about giving him a happy ending massage. right? We're not talking about 3 ways. We're not talking about none of that. He's gotten all that. There's plenty of that. That's nothing to him, right? That's nothing to him. So what he's talking about and what I'm talking about, and shout out to Fresh, if you can sit there and find ways to allow him to focus on his business and leveling up his business, 10x his business, 100x his business, he's never going to want you to leave his side, ever. Ever. And you're doing it and you're being unselfish about it. You're not going through his calendar and just to find out when he's free so he can take you to Sexy Fish. No. And you know what he'll do? He will thank you for your efforts. That's when he comes home with the Chanel bag. That's when he comes home with a nice pair of Louboutin boots, the high ones up to your knee. That's when that's when he'll say, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you book this flight to Paris? We're going to, got this thing at the Louvre in Paris. And you're like, all right, cool. I didn't know you were going to London. How many tickets you need? Just 2, baby. Just me and you. Oh, right now you get that little moment. He's going to do that. He's going to do that. Hey, why are we going to Paris? Remember that meeting you set for me? Yeah, we made 100,000 off of that. So we're going to go celebrate. We're going to go to Paris. We're going to go to Paris. Right. And then we're off to Tulum. Right. We might go to Madagascar. We might go down. Who knows where we're going to go? We might hit, 2 or 3 cities. And you know what? I need a vacation. I need a break. And you've made it to where I can take that break. Where do you want to go? Like, he's listening to y'all talking all these places like, oh, I've always wanted to go to Madagascar. He knows because he heard you talking about it. That's why y'all going. That's how you add value. That's how you set yourself aside from all the 3 or 4s out there. That's how you retain a top tier guy after sex. That's how you do it. Just that simple. Just that simple. Brother Cody doing his things like facts like a servant. I was talking about how you can make sure he gets what he needs. I am a single wife. She's like, what? She's pointing up to it like, no. Hey, it is what it is. Casual Germs like women that take the initiative are sexy as fuck. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. When they hold it down, they take care of business. I'm telling you, that is how you become a top tier woman. And people always ask me, like, what's a top tier woman? I'm like, a top tier woman is a woman who can hold it down for her top tier guy. A top tier woman is a married woman, in my opinion. If you're married and you got the guy you want, and I don't care where he is on the status ladder. If you're married, you have the guy that you want. Y'all love, honor, and respect one another. You've raised your family, or you're raising your family, and you're going through this world, and y'all are good. You guys are happy. You doing what you do. You top tier to me. Top tier doesn't mean, it doesn't have anything to do with being able to fly first class or to drive a Rolls Royce or to go to Mr. Child's. That don't mean nothing. Those are nice things, but that doesn't make you top tier. Not to me. A top tier woman is a woman who has the man she wants. She is 10x and 100x and 1000x and that man. She is essential to them growing and becoming a force to be reckoned with, and they are leaving a dent in the universe. That's a top tier woman. It's a top tier woman. You got so many women out here like Ebony K. Williams. I like Sister Ebony. Shout out to her. But she has spent decades making herself into the man she's always wanted, and she's single. Does that make her top tier? She's worth millions. She's beautiful. She kept her body together. She's single, no baby daddies. She's accomplished. She's got a TV show. She's got 2 TV shows. Right? She has books. Hey, she knows how to network. If she were a man, she would be a top tier guy. But she's a woman. Right? The standard is different. She's a very accomplished woman. She's a rich woman. But she can't find that, and she can't get that top tier guy. Now, if Ebony were to go out tomorrow and start a relationship with that bus driver who loves, honors, and respects her, and she's able to make that bus drivers go from, well, you know what, just driving this bus used to be good enough or whatever, but damn, baby, you got me motivated. I want to do more. And he goes out and he maybe starts buying properties, and maybe he starts buying some stocks. Maybe he starts to really invest into his 401k. Maybe he starts getting insurance and making moves. She's top tier because he is beginning to grow, and they're growing together. They're doing it out of love for one another. And again, it really doesn't matter. The material stuff doesn't matter. To me, if you want to win the game as a woman, you get married, and that's what you want to do. You want to get married. You're happily married. You have your family. I think you won. I think that's top tier. I really believe that's top tier. And there are women out there who don't want kids. There are women out there who don't want husbands. That's fine. They're successful, right? And they're one percenters. Great. They ain't tripping. They love their life. But I can't, it's like, well, that means that they're just top tier, like they're just as top tier as the man. Like, well, they're both one percenters. But I don't think the man wins until he gets married. I honestly believe that. People keep like, you call yourself a high value man, a top tier man. Like, no, I don't. I've never been married. If I were married, I like my man Jay Swans and his wife Naya, top tier. Top tier. Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, top tier. Right? That school teacher who's married to the bus driver and their kids are in college, going to Ivy League and they won scholarships and life was great. They're top tier. Driving around in a Honda, living in a $200,000 house, top tier. I mean, that's how I see it. Yeah, I could be wrong. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. That's my take on it. You know what I mean? Scam likely. Red Pill Talking Points number 75. Ebony K. Williams has a job and is over 22. Hit the wall. She is low value and qualifies for liquor store Sam. Hey, man. That's what they say. But Ebony K. Williams is obviously disappointed with her results. And you can tell by what she said. Go back and listen to what she said. It's all over YouTube. You can watch this show. I did a show on it last night. You can watch it. We was talking about Ebony K. Williams. She, maybe there's some regret there. Like she said, she's telling young sisters, like, while you are in college, get your degree and get yourself a husband. At least get the guy that you can, plant that seed and start to grow with. And she has a good point. All this stuff about top tier guys, right? The best way to get a top tier man, ladies, is to get him before he reaches his potential. If you get him before he reaches his potential, the only one of these points I brought up that you need to be worried about is the protect the brand one. That's it. That's it. If you got Jeff Bezos when he was needing money, he needed $100,000 to keep his book selling business from going under, when he was selling books out of his garage, that's the best time to get a top tier man. He's one of the wealthiest men on the planet, one of the wealthiest men ever, right? That was the best time. Like, if you could get, if you could have gotten Elon Musk while y'all were sophomores at Stanford or whatever school he went to, if you got his nerdy, right, kind of awkward, this awkward dude, if you locked him down when y'all was sophomores in college and you supporting him, yeah. That's how you get a top tier guy without having to worry about all this other stuff. And I think that's the point that Ebony was trying to make, and she made a good point. If you wait for these young men to reach their potential, right? If you do as Rich Cooper says, if you wait at the finish line and you smash the winner, if that's your plan, then yeah, you're gonna need all these other bullet points. Like, you're gonna need all this other stuff to help you get in. Like that. But ideally, it's best to get that guy, that top tier guy, while he's still young. And I think that's the point that Ebony K. Williams was trying to make. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. Scam was saying she was reading a script by Pearly. No, she wasn't. No, she was not. Ebony K. Williams don't even know what Red Pill is. Trust me, I know. I mean, I know her people. Like I said, she did some self-assessment. She's like, damn, I thought it'd be different. You feel me? Let's see. Brother Pitney, what's good, fam? Good to see you. It's like Uncle DL. Spreading facts. Get in on the ground floor and don't embarrass him. You'll be set. That is true. Get in on the ground floor. 100% true. It's a fact. But a lot of, and I mean, it is what it is. The Medium Man did a really good video on it. We reacted to the video last night, but go to his page and check it out. But yeah, it's just a way of, it's just a different way of doing business. We got Scam Likely in the building, man. What's good, fam? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I just got a little pushback dust as normal. About 2 gallons of nothing special. So let me get this right. We got a guy on here yesterday who's 20 years old. He's making good money. And you tell a guy, oh, stay away from them women. Stay away. Wait till you get to the finish line and go get the women. Then you tell the women, don't wait till the men are at the finish line. Go get them now while they're building. So you told the guys who are building, wait till you get to the finish line, but you tell the women, don't wait to the finish line. How they going to find each other?
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Now, he's talking about Jimmy Zhao. Jimmy Zhao is a young kid. Jimmy Zhao just turned 20. He's a freshman, I believe, in college. He is in the gym shoe reselling business. And Jimmy Zhao, he has a video out where I think it was last month or so, like he was still 19. He did $100,000 in gross sales reselling shoes. And he's been working, he's been a young entrepreneur since he was a freshman in high school, right? He came over as an immigrant with his family. Like he's working really, really hard. All of his effort, all of his energy goes into college, into his business, right? And you're right. I told Jimmy, stay away from these girls. Stay focused on your business. Why? Because the amount of time and effort it takes to build his business is the same amount of time, attention, and energy and effort is going to take to cultivate a proper relationship. Leave it alone. So when I tell women, if there's a young girl at Jimmy's college and she's a freshman, if he's a freshman or sophomore, I think he's a freshman, he might be a sophomore, whichever it is, they're a freshman or a sophomore. That young girl, that young woman should be planting seeds and adding value with Jimmy, keeping her eye on him, staying close, adding value, managing her expectations, right? She should be placing her bet on Jimmy. By the time they graduate, now he's ungraduated, she's adding value, she's part of the team. He's accomplished his goal of getting his degree. Now they can focus solely on this business. She's like one of the front runners. And I think that's the point that Ebony K. Williams was trying to make.
Yeah, I got more pushback as usual.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if he's 20 years old, let's be real. Men and women want each other and have a scientific desire to want each other in certain ways. So if he's 20, it takes him 3-4 years building his business, which a business has nothing to do with a relationship. Business skills over here, relationship skills are over there. Communication, connection, all the stuff that's working with the woman. So if he spends more and more years over there, have a boatload full of cash, and hadn't talked to a woman in 5 years, how you gonna marry somebody? A man with a briefcase full of cash lacking relationship skills is a dangerous thing.
Okay. So you said business skills and relationship skills are separate.
You might blend 10%, meaning
all right,
relationship skills, like we're in Florida, both of us, and we go out Tampa, Central Florida. A lot of the people walking with these wives, beautiful women, they're getting in the Honda Accords. They're not all getting in Mercedes Benzes. Some are 28 years old, some 24, some 31. Some got their women 10 years ago. But it's relationship skills that got them that woman. It wasn't their business. Through a business can help because it can get you a front seat. It can get you different things. But a person spending 5 or 10 years dealing and understanding of women in relationships versus one who's chasing money. And sometime during that chasing of money, you are going to want a woman. You're going to want one tonight, tomorrow. And if you spend time dealing with ones who don't value relationships, that's what your brain takes in. Women who don't value relationships. How do you turn it on or hit a switch 6 years out of the dating game? Hit a switch and then find a wife.
All right, so we're talking about Jimmy Zhao too, right? So because that's the
Well,
we're gonna stick with Jimmy. I heard what you're saying, but we're gonna
mainly to
stick
the
with Jimmy.
message because I don't want to make it personal about him. Shout out to Jimmy.
I don't know the man other than the 40-minute interview we did. So just based on that, I don't know it. But we were talking about Jimmy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my impression of this young man, based on our communication via DM and then the interview we did a couple days ago, that kid is socially aware. You can tell from his interview and the way he handled the interview and the way he was able to convey his thoughts and ideals that this kid is socially giant, right? When I asked him about women, he was just like, look, I'm not even trying to get none. I'm just, he was ready. He had his mind right. He knew how to convey those skills. Now, when he's ready, like I said, that young woman, it's a young woman in his college right now, checking him out. If she inserts herself, she plants those seeds. He's not blind to the fact that this beautiful woman is working with him and she's flirtatious, but just a little bit, and they're building together. He's not, So he is socially aware enough to figure that out. So he's going to be learning as he goes, as he's doing his business stuff, increasing his business relationships, and as he's handling his social relationships in respect to this woman and any other women that come around. Now it's on her to always keep herself in the number one slot. Go ahead and let him mess around with the little 304s or whatever. Like, okay, she's telling, like, be careful, whatever. It's up to her to add the value that he can't overlook. Right? It might take 5 years. It might take 8 years. But she's putting herself in a position where when he's ready to make that move, she's going to be the first one. Like, right here, let's go.
You would advise a woman, there's a guy focused on his business. You would advise her to play around with a guy for 5 years, or play around with a guy who's not giving attention, not doing the dating, not showing value, to just keep waiting for this dude when there's 50,000 other men on the campus.
I would tell her to add value. I would tell her to choose wisely and make a good bet. This young kid, Jimmy Zhao, is a good bet. And I would tell her to try her best to cultivate that relationship while she's out there doing whatever she wants to do. I guess you're saying she needs to go out there and get experience. She needs to go out there and just find some random joysticks and go get her back blown out.
No,
fine, go do that.
No,
I mean, because that's what these young kids are doing. Well, whatever she's gonna do, fine, go do that. Right. And if you are out there, young ladies, getting your back blown out, keep that in the closet where it belongs. Remember, plausible deniability only works when there's no proof. Don't be having proof all over Instagram. Don't be pictures of you twerking, pictures of you on random dudes' boats and stuff like that, yachts. That's another conversation. But I would say that these young women should place that bet while they're there. She is. If you are in his orbit, this young kid is gonna be something. He is driven. You want to put yourself in a position where when he's ready to make that move, he can't overlook her. Right now, of course, there's a way to do it. You don't want to be friend zoned. You don't want to be business zoned. You gotta let him know. He'll know, but don't put too much pressure on it. Just like, hey, I'm interested. That's all it takes. She can go out and do whatever she wants to do, but you're planting seeds, right? As opposed to getting your Instagram or getting you an OF or going out here and just getting drunk with your girlfriends, going out here smashing random dudes. She can do that too. But you look at, because what you're talking about is what Ebony K. Williams did.
No, well,
she focused on that degree. She got that. She got that degree. She focused on that degree. She focused on undergrad. She focused on law school. She focused on the career. She went out there and she got it. I ain't mad at her. Like, man, she got it. She networks her butt off, right? She is plugged in with the 1%, right? She's made herself into the man she wants to be. And now she's sitting there stuck on stupid.
that wasn't what I was applying to. Not at all.
Oh, okay. So go ahead. But I'm just saying that's how she looks right now.
If I could go back, well, one, I didn't know nothing when I was 20, 22. So I couldn't do anything different because I didn't know nothing. If I could take this brain and go back to 19, 21, 23, the most important investment I've been working on wouldn't have been cash. It would have been relationship skills. It would have been finding a spouse, because cash is going to come anyway. Now it's two people bringing in cash, or now it's me with a supportive person behind me. which equals more, just like Jay Swans. Did it when he was young, got out the game, ain't never going back in. But it's not kind of like you don't tell somebody you want to play in the NFL. Well, go to the buffet for 3 years and then just come out when you're ready and then go look to play sports. That buffet is going to have a cost when you get on the football field and put the pads on. So the time you spend away from dealing with and communicating with women, it comes with a cost.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, so like you mentioned Jay Swans, and then before you mentioned Jay Swans earlier, you mentioned like the random people walking around in Tampa, right? So
They're married people, meaning the thing told to men is, wait, don't worry about women. Go get all this money, then go get them. Now you got to do with a briefcase full of cash that don't know nothing about no women. And during that time, him going and getting that money, let's be real, he's going to be chasing some buns.
Now that's not necessarily what the red pill preaches. There's some people out there who says that stuff. No, I'm being 100%. That's not necessarily what if you really pay attention to what the red pill talks about, the red pill says to become the best version of yourself. They tell you to chase excellence, not women, right? They tell you to go out, build businesses. The things that they're telling you to do, you can't be a social dimwit and be successful. Like you can't build a business and not know how to establish relationships with people. And at the end of the day, a relationship is you just establishing that it's people. It's like, because at the beginning you was like, well, building business relationships and romantic relationships are different. I would argue they are very, very much the same. I would say they're 80% overlap, maybe 20% different. You know what I mean? But I think the majority of it overlaps. So we talked about Jay Swans. And Jay Swans will tell you this, right? It was his wife that made that happen. It wasn't Jay Swans. Jay Swans just didn't wake up one day and be like, you know what? Today is the day. Nah, he was doing his thing. And his wife was like, no. His wife was doing everything I was talking about. She was adding value. Where do you think I came up with this shit from? Like, from people that I've seen. She was adding value. She was out there. She was retaining her value, right? She was able to keep him there and keep him interested without, throwing it back and all that other kind of stuff. She was able to elevate above all of the other women that were in play. And Jay Swans will tell you this. I'm not going to go into details, but he will, right? He'll tell you this. So back to Jimmy Zhao and this, young woman who may be out there trying to holler at him. She might be listening right now. She needs to do what Naya did. She needs to put herself in a situation where when it's time, it's like, hey, look at me. Women are so much smarter than we are when it comes to these things. Right? So much smarter. When they lock in on, when they make a good bet on a dude, it takes that woman to kind of shake the guy out of the BS. Because that's what I saw with them. Right. And that's what I'm trying to say as a young woman who's in college with a sharp young brother like Jimmy Zhao should do. Place your bet wisely. He ain't got nothing right now. He working his butt off. She ain't got nothing right now. You want to build now. My brother says this all the time. You know what I mean? He's like, how these women going to come at me once I'm in the NBA and expect something from me? They wasn't in the gym when I was taking all those shots. Right. They wasn't in the cold tub. Right. They wasn't out there doing 2-a-days. But it was like but LeBron James' wife was. You feel me? She placed the bet. She placed the bet early. And again, I think this is what Ebony K. Williams is talking about. Ebony didn't. I bet you I'm trying to get her too, bro. I'm trying to have a conversation with her. Like, I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm trying real hard to get a conversation with her. I bet you she would say that there were men, at least 3 or 4 men in her life at that time that are like top tier guys right now that were in love with her. And she just didn't place the bet. She could have put herself in a position, still could have got a degree, still could chase her career, but she could have put herself in a position where she was going through that with these dudes, because it takes guys time to get to attain the things that women find attractive. And that's what like Rich Cooper. I don't know if you consumed any of Rich Cooper's content. But he's like one of the
OGs from the quote unquote manosphere. He calls it the Mano Swamp now, right? He's out of Canada, self-made man, been through the family court record, you know what I mean? But has a girlfriend now, long-term girlfriend. Very sharp guy. He has a book that's over my shoulder right now. It's called The Unplugged Alpha. Excellent book, excellent read. These are the guys that I'm talking about. Because he'll tell you, like, nah, man, you gotta do the work. You have to be socially skilled. Right? You have to have the experience. So when you do come across some of these women who are not necessarily what you're looking for, you know, like, all right, that's just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just going to have some fun with her. I'm going to leave her alone or whatever. But I'm definitely not going to put a baby in her. Don't do what I did. Don't do what I did, people. Learn from my mistakes. Don't do what I did. But this is what I like about that message. Now it's very convoluted, and there's a lot of people over there who are just scamming and whatnot. You know what I mean? They just like Pearl. You know what I'm saying? Just Pearl don't believe any of the stuff she talks about, but she's just cashing checks. I ain't mad at her. You know what I'm saying? They hate the game, y'all. Don't hate the players. But someone like Jimmy Zhao and Jace Wands, right? It was in the end, it was a woman, a good woman who made the bet, who saw the potential, and they latched on, and they were able to get the man, to get the top tier man before he developed. That's the key. And it's like that's what Brother Pitney was saying. They got him on the ground floor. You know what I mean? There it is. Right. Did I get it in here? The man, I'll find it in a second, but you want to get in on the ground floor. And a lot of women, they're missing out on that. You know what I mean? So that's my take on it. And I think that these young women in college, women are graduating. I think for every dude that graduates college moving forward, I think they're projected out maybe 5 years from now. For every woman, for every dude that graduates college, I think 2 women graduate, something like that. I guess that's I was watching.
It's about a 2-to-1 right now. Yeah,
that's great, and that's only going to increase.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if women want to, if you want to marry a college educated man, ladies, there's a lot of competition, right? And those guys are going to go on to be something, a lot of them. So if you want to get that top tier man, get him while you got your best chance. She's in college. She's at her sexual peak. She is the most sought after woman in every cohort. The kids her age want her. The guys 10 years older want her. The guys 10 years older than that. And the guys 10 years older than that, they all want her. But as she ages, the further she gets away from that most sought after demographic, as she ages, her value does start to decrease. And as he ages, his value is increasing because he's starting to get the things that women find attractive if he does the work. So that's what I'm saying right now. And I think that Ebony's message is a really good message. And I'm hoping, I'm already seeing it. You got talk radio talking about it. YouTube is always talking about it. I'm pretty sure mainstream media will be talking about it here probably next week.
So she's trying to deal with the talking point mafia.
Well, no, she just put her stuff out there. Now the talking point mafia is going to make their own points. You know what I mean? They're going to make their own points. What's good? We got brother Damon in the house, man. What's good, fam? Good to see you.
Good.
What's going on, Damon?
What's happening, man?
Damon or Damien?
So, and
Damien.
I'm on.
Damien. Yeah, I remember you
Damien.
from back in the day.
So go ahead, bro. What you got to say, man? I'm glad you popped up here.
No, I'm just listening to y'all saying like it's I'm just going with the conversation, man. I'm just trying to hear what you get in where I fit in.
Well, it's time for you to fit in because we know what scam is. I want to hear where you are with it. Being a top tier man, being a top tier man.
It's hard because I'm in from a different space. I met my wife before I would consider what some people consider a top 10 man. I was just an average Joe, and then we kind of like built everything, kind of worked together and built it together. So I got to get. I'm not one of those dudes. My experience is not what a lot of these cats are talking about. My wife did provide the motivation and insight and stuff like that to keep me motivated when I was kind of losing it a little bit, or my momentum was slowing down. So I'm an advocate for that, but don't get me wrong, I'm not against a woman trying to use her what she has available to her to get a top tier guy. But like you were breaking down earlier, is that there are some things you need to kind of understand comes along with that deal. You need to read the fine print of it. I think what happens a lot of time, a lot of women get with these cats and they think, cool, they're just going to be an extension of my life. They're just going to improve my life instead of no. You have to be ready to improve his life. You know, they don't realize the sacrifices that come along with that. And I think, like I said, I have no problem with hypergamy. I think it's kind of what's moved the civilization along for all these years, is people trying to get better and better using what they have to build. I think a lot of people just go in it with the mind state of, like I said before, like this person is going to just be an addition, is going to improve where I am, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to have to sacrifice where I was or where I thought I wanted to be in order to get on that person's program. Because like when I did start doing well and start making a little bit of money, we decided it wasn't worth it for my wife to be working when my kids were young. So she stayed at home for 10 years. You know, we decided it was just probably the best thing, because it just made my situation a lot easier. You know, the kids had her full time and stuff like that. You know, and she just recently went back to work because our kids are in school. So she has the time afforded her. She realized, you know, it doesn't take a whole lot of time to clean her house. She got help with that. But it's just like, you know, it's kind of fit to where we were. But she realized that she had to sacrifice a lot. Like she went to school, my wife got 2 degrees, went to school, got 2 degrees. And then she gave all that up to, you know, be a stay-at-home mom. And that's the kind of deals that some women aren't willing to do. A lot of women aren't willing to make that paradigm shift in order to say, okay, I'm in a situation a lot of people would be in. What can better the situation? Her working and me working was not conducive to a happy home. So we decided to make a change. And I think the stumbling block, like I said earlier, is when a lot of women don't realize that's the kind of shift that they're going to have to, mental shift they're going to have to make at some point, if they really want a successful, or at least for a short period, for a period of time, if they really want that type of relationship to be productive and a good one.
And that's why I tell people, when I put on that list, you got to protect the brand. And that it sounds to me that like your wife was all about protecting the brand. You are all about protecting the brand. People, and I know we're trying to get together so we can do this show on relationships. But since you're here, let's just delve into it just a little bit.
What are we gonna say? It's all good.
How difficult is it having a relationship, protecting the brand, and moving forward? What's the key to that success in your opinion, brother?
I mean, like I said, you got to communicate your expectations early. I mean, I think what people do is like and it has to make sure your expectations have to be relevant to the situation. It can't be like, I'm expecting this for a situation that could happen or something that was in the past. It has to be relevant to where you are. A lot of people be like, yeah, if I make $1 million, I want you to behave like this. Well, no, you got to stutter step that. You got to baby step of that. You can't just be like, okay, I want you to completely change and be this person. You need to kind of like set realistic expectations and change them as you progress. You know, and that was one of the things that early on was kind of a stumbling block for her, for us. It was like she had her expectations, I had my expectations, because I was out partying and stuff like that. I thought, cool, I got my chick. We're gonna be out partying. We're gonna be this power couple in the city and in the clubs and stuff. And then she wasn't about that. She was like, well, that's, you know, and I was short-sighted, and I had to change my mind. Like, yeah, you're right. You know, if I really want to have something, I already got this fleeting status from like that part of it. I need to get the longevity and like the financial security part of it. So, and then with me making those concessions, I was like, okay, well, here's some of the things I need. Like I said it in the chat. It was just like, you know, there never should be a opportunity where you don't have to always make me look good, but you can never make me look bad. You know, in a public setting, you always, like you said, protect. I guess that goes in along with protecting the brand. You always got to be like, you know, in a room full of men, that's the man right there. You see that dude right there? That's the man. You know, and and I think just communicating your expectations consistently. And we've changed these. Our expectations have changed. We've been, like I said, we've known each other 20 years, been married 16 of those 20 years.
Man, that's what's up,
and it was,
bro.
but it was a 2-year period actually a 3-year period where we broke up. Like we dated for like a number of months and whatever, and I still wanted to be out and about, and she was like, I'm not really feeling that. And then like her ex dude heard about from her friend that there was a chink in our armor, so he came back hardcore, and she was just like, he was, so I broke up and I was back in the streets for 3 years. And then I actually bumped into her when I was on a date with another girl, and she was with a dude, and I was just like, hey, I ain't letting you get away this time. You look too good. You was too good of a person. I'm in a different headspace. Let's connect. And we've been together ever since. But it's just one of those things where it's just like, I had to make some significant changes. I had to set some realistic expectations, and I had to take her. I had to take her perspective into consideration with my expectations. And I didn't put on too much on her that what I don't think she could and couldn't do. I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah, bro, you got lucky, brother. You got lucky. And that's just a little teaser, y'all. We gonna actually have the show on, because everybody gets on me and they say that I hate relationships and I'm anti-relationship. I'm not. I'm anti-marriage, right, under the laws that govern marriage today. But I'm 100%. And you need a relationship. We are better together than we are apart. You know what I mean? And the right woman can absolutely 1000x whatever it is you're doing. But the wrong woman can utterly destroy you. So we gonna do that. We're gonna set that show up, y'all. So that's gonna be a barn burner. But I do want the gentlemen, since I got you on the panel, since I am a single one, ain't come up, we ain't getting no women to come up here. We need to hear from women. But with respect to, as men, knowing what we know, seeing what we have seen, do you think I was off base with my suggestions to women on how to secure a top tier guy? Or was I full of shit? Or I'm kind of there? Am I kind of getting the right area? What do you think, Dusto?
I missed a chunk of it. I was on the phone.
You missed a chunk of it, man.
Then on, then back off. But all I can say is, as far as getting in, is every man is different. I just think, so I missed part of what you said, so if I'm off, I'm off. Every man is different. Every man has needs. A lot of them are basic. But then there's the individual part. What is it that works for this man? And what is it that works for you? Work on communication. Work on being disciplined, both people. And the expectations part, this is the stuff that I don't hear in a lot of the spaces, but actually working together and then navigating through how they solve problems. But yeah, and of course you got to be attractive. Get in the gym. Don't be flabby and savvy. But find what works for you and find what works for that man. Like it's more about the simple stuff than all the high tech talking point stuff and hit the wall at 23 and body count this and hot girls. So that's all junk.
Well, the hot girls summer stuff has something to do with that, but not like the wall and all that kind of stuff. There are points there. There are valid points there out there.
Yeah, there's some. I think they make 90. Most of the conversation has to do with the wrong men and the wrong women, and all the talking points are about those wrong people. There's nothing to talk about communication, working together, and realistic expectations. A lot of conversations make up these fictional characters that's 22, high value at 23, making all this money, disappeared out the sky. He chasing the purpose with a briefcase running out. It just gets to the point where, like, who are these people? And where's the individual part of an actual connection between a man and a woman? And them actually wanting to be together. Instead, the conversation, I don't even know what they talk about anymore. But
yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like,
I'm just talking about individually realistic. You like this woman, you catch feelings. How can you work with that person? How can they work with you?
That's cool. Brother Damien, what were you saying?
Yeah.
So there's two ways. Like what you said, the points you said were spot on. If you're looking to catch somebody who's already established, those points were spot on. If you have patience and insight, you will kind of see if you can spot somebody who's on that trajectory and get with them early. So then you can have more of an insight and set your expectations. Then it could be more of like a give and take 50-50. You don't have to be so much of you can help with that plan so you don't feel like you're just going along for the ride. You helping progress the relationship. But yeah, like you said before, those things that you said, if you are saying, okay, I'm young, I'm attractive, I think I have the resources, physical resources to attract this man. What do I have to do to maintain and set myself apart from everybody else? Because like somebody said, who was it said? It was like a hot chick is born, turns 18 every day.
Hey,
So
but every 10 minutes.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's just like, it's like you have to decide, you have to find, I think, utilize what you said and other things in order to kind of set yourself apart and give yourself value over and above what you look like. Like you said, if like, you know, I take bits and pieces of what some of the people in the rep said, because like I said, in everything, there are some gems of truth in there. Like I remember I was watching Andrew Tate on a show, and he said, imagine what it would do to a man. You got with a man who thinks he's the dude. He brings his boys around, and you like, oh my God, you know, serving them drinks and like, you know, you guys want some nachos? You guys want me to like, you know, do some, you're making him feel like you're reaffirming what he's already trying to portray to his friends, like he's that guy. So I'm saying that sets you apart from everybody else, because other people will think, I just got to walk in the room and look cute. But if you're like attentive and to his needs and his friends' needs, that's going to set him apart. That's going to show value. If you, I mean, seriously, those are the things that people need to realize. Being in that position is not a passive role, it's an active role. And action can't be just sex. It has to be the things you do to set yourself apart and make it to where he finds you, like you said, invaluable, protecting the brand, you know, you got to know when to talk and you got to know when to shut up. Yeah, being his peace. That's an important one.
Yeah,
we're managing expectations, you know.
But yeah, speaking of being someone's peace, Shoe's in the building, y'all. Shoe's in the building. What's good, sis? Good to see you. Wonderful 34 is in the building as well. What's good, brother? Always a pleasure to see you. So we did get a little bit off topic, but I mean everything you guys are saying is spot on. Because I'm the same way. Like, yeah, I'm in the red pill space, but I tell people all the time, like, man, I hear a lot of nonsense over there. I hear a lot of nonsense in the blue pill world and mainstream stuff. I hear a lot of nonsense when we talk religion, but you know what? I hear a lot of good, and I like to let me take the good. Yeah. Let me get what I think works, and I'm going to run with that. That's how I came up with these 5 points. I am a single one. She's saying she cleaning. I was trying to get her to come up, and Shoe's going to be on the show next week. I think we got a Shoo. We on for Thursday, right? I think we on for Thursday.
The bad part about it is like a lot of these people who are absorbing this content, they don't have the maturity and the life experience to kind of do what we can do, take pieces of it and apply what is pertinent and what is actually most likely most practical. Because like I said, at our age, it's a whole different world. It's a whole different world. It's like we can say, okay, yeah, that is a good thing. Let me say, oh man, that's bullshit. Let me pass that on by or whatever. That's not real world thinking. And I think that's where it becomes problematic. The cats are getting some good information, but they're absorbing it. They're not absorbing it, and they're getting it wrong. They're not understanding it.
Yeah.
So it could be effective.
And that's or they're deciphering it through their filters amongst other young kids that's gonna come out wrong. Like they'll say stuff. Well, just Andrew Tate said that's like that's not what he said, bro. That's certainly not what he meant. But that's the top G and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, bro. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, we got Shoo on next Thursday, y'all. Make sure y'all here next Thursday. Me and Shoo gonna be in here wilding the F out. It is what it is. But I wanted to wind things down and do me a favor, gentlemen. Give me y'all final thoughts on how a woman could secure and maintain a relationship with a top tier dude. We'll start with you, Scam, since you in the talking spot. Bam, there you go. What advice would you give to some women on how to get secure and most importantly retain a relationship with a top tier guy?
Number one is how you look. Let's not play these games. Get that ass in the gym.
You saying I can't be fat? Or she
No.
can't be fat?
I
You
look
could be
at
fat.
I'm looking at overweight women as a woman that if I had children with, she's not going to be here 18 years for me to raise anybody. Just being honest. But if you can't take care of you can't take care of what you're presenting, what you gonna do with the rest? Like we can't even get started. That's like, come on. To be honest, look at your competition. Do the opposite of everything that they're doing. Most of the women are undateable, unmarried. Everything they're doing, do the opposite. They're going out, you stay home. They're spending all their money, you save money. They're eating at the buffet, you go eat some fruits and beans and vegetables. They're at the club, be at the church. Pretty much do the opposite of everything that you see them doing. Go find 5 women who are successfully married that are older than you and do what they tell you to do. But vet them all 5. If they talking some stuff, go get 10. Go talk to 10. But there's something that they're doing that works. Find the people who look like they got what you want. Find some honest ones. Have a conversations. They'll tell you what to do. But your competition is garbage. You can't
That's
be
what's up, man.
Don't even worry about it. That's all I got.
That's what's up, man. And appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming through. I am the single one. I already dropped your link. Please, please, please hit that link. Go over and support brother Scam Likely Dusto on the Scam Likely podcast, right? Scam Likely podcast.
Scam Likely show. I'm gonna get you over there one day.
You're definitely going. Like you said, I'm here. It just, but hey man, we'll do the show at 6:30. Like, I'm on from 6 to 8. Like I ain't got a clone yet, but
we'll work something out.
Absolutely, man. I look forward to coming over there, man. Anything else you want to promote before we let you go?
Shout out to Damien. That's a solid dude. I've seen him around this space a while, and I know who he runs with.
Appreciate
solid dude, married, runs with decent people, and he's not just talking all this dust stuff. If so, trust me, I'll be up here trolling. And DL solid dude. We disagree on a lot of stuff, but still a decent dude. I know the man in person. But sometimes people disagree. But there's a way that we can disagree and everything is cool. So
absolutely.
Yeah. And everybody go to the gym tonight. Just do it. Just go.
Say just go.
Yeah. That's all I got.
I appreciate you, bro, man. We're gonna let you go, man.
I'll be listening to audio.
All right, man. Peace.
All right.
So yeah, brother Damien, man, you heard that. Shushu agrees with you. She's like, yeah. If you want to qualify a relationship, you definitely have to come with more value than sex. I agree with you 100%. You know what I mean? I definitely do that. And look, Wonderful 34 in here. You know what I mean? Look at him. He's talking about that smile.
Holla, 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 holla. Let me holler at you. Let me holler.
That's for Shushu. Running for 34. I ain't mad at you because Shushu a dime, bro. I be talking to like, hey, what's up, girl? How you doing? I would, but her brother's a former Green Beret, and I ain't trying to have red dots dancing around on my shirt.
Exactly. Mandrell come after you.
You sure will, man. So that's what's up, man. So I'm gonna give you your final thoughts as well, bro. So what advice would you give to women if their goal is to secure a top tier guy and actually retain him after sex? Like what advice would you give to women?
You gotta, like I was saying earlier, you have to cultivate a persona that's different than what's out there in the market. You can't just be like, everybody is dressing like this, and I'm going to dress like this. Everybody is acting like this, so I'm going to. You have to cultivate a persona that separates yourself, because what you don't want to be viewed as is replaceable. Oh, she gave me the little bits of pushback, so I'm going to get another one that looks just like her. And I think that's what people do. They emulate people they think are doing it or have the most likelihood to obtain that. And then it ends up failing miserably because there's just so many. They don't get chosen because there's so many of them out there. So what they need to do is just find a way to separate themselves through their persona, through their actions, through, educate yourself. Be able to have conversations on more than surface level stuff, because there's nothing better to a dude who's doing something. And if you put him in a room, she can have intelligent conversations about politics, of sports, about religion, about art, whatever. Develop those skills as well. You got to be a good conversationalist. You got to but I'm gonna keep it funky. Like what Desto said is true. You got to be physically fit in the shape. That's off rip what you got to do. You know, those are the things that are going to be the long time, because when a guy stops, because at some point, the way you're going to start looking real regular, and it's that conversation and that and what you provide that's going to carry the relationship past a certain point. Because when you walk in and there's 10 other ones that look just like you, he's going to know right off by having a 2-second conversation with the person. Okay, is this they ain't got none of my baby. My baby knows about art. My baby knows about politics. I can take her to this business meeting and not be embarrassed thinking, she's not going to have a neck and arm full of tattoos and stuff like that. It's just, you have to cultivate your overall persona to be one of elegance and insightfulness and intelligence, because even the hood is dude. That's why you see like a lot of these cats, like rappers, will get with like somebody who's like a college girl or whatever like that for the long haul. Yeah, they'll mess around and play with all these ex-strippers turn rappers turn influencers or whatever, but when they're settling down with girls who are actually doing something, who have a point of view and something to say. Because like I said, I've been to business. I've taken my wife to business meetings, and my wife I just be like, baby, go. And she'll work the room and everybody loves her. Oh my God, your wife is so amazing. And that's the way a man wants to be represented. You have to always realize you are representing that man, not the other way around.
That's what's up, man. Bro, fire. Fire. And it's like you said, man, what do top tier men want most? They want women who have value to add. They want women who won't embarrass them. They want a woman that's going to protect the brand, bro. So I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you so much for coming on, bro. I know we keep talking about having a proper show. We're going to do it.
Let me know, man. It's starting to soften up. So like around this time works for me. So whenever you want, I'm your boy. All right.
That's what it is, man. I appreciate that, bro. We're gonna make that happen, man. Because like I said, people own me hard, man. You don't like relationships. Like, yes, I do. I'm gonna bring some people on here. We're gonna talk about relationships, man. So I'm gonna holler at you, brother.
All right, brother.
Peace. Man, that was a great show, man. Shout out to Damien and Dusto. You know what I mean? I am a single one. Cody, like even Cody sat back and chilled this time. Cause normally Cody come up and slay some folks, but today he just let it ride. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this team replay. Please, I hope y'all leave some comments. Let me know if I'm off. Let me know if I'm, if you agree with me, if I'm way off, if I'm crazy, if I gave you something to think about, let me know. You know what I mean? Let me know, because this is a big thing. And we're living in an era now where women are just selling themselves cheap, man. They're not maintaining their value at all. I know people hate Fresh and Fit. There are a lot of people out there who hate Fresh and Fit. I know, especially Myron Gaines, but Myron makes an excellent point every single night, day in and day out. Women are born with their value. You must maintain your value, women. Y'all must retain your value. Keep it. Cherish it. Value it. Men are not born with value. We have to go out and create our value. I truly believe in that. There's nothing wrong with that. Men and women are different. Ladies, quit giving away your essence to these knuckleheads, man. There is no honor in being a chicken. Woo, chicken head. Chicken. You don't want to be a chicken head. You don't want, look at Brittany Renner. You don't want to be Brittany. Look at Ebony K. Williams. You can't find nothing negative on her, just what she say. But look where she is, by herself. You don't want to find yourself in that situation. You don't want to find yourself in that situation. So that's all we got for tonight. I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? I am a single one, just killing the mod tonight. I feel you. Man, thank you, sis. Thank you. I'm so grateful that you're in there dropping everybody's link, so they can find everyone's link that we were talking to today, and everyone we listed or whatever. It's in the chat, because I am the single one put in there while she was cleaning the house, taking care of business. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. Women are the value. Men are looking for women who do add that value add. That's what men are looking for. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's great. Let's see. Wonderful 34, and this is at Shoo. This is from Mr. DL. She just seems to be a beautiful person inside and out. That's all. She is a beautiful person inside and out, bro. For real. I co-sign that. Absolutely. I can co-sign that. Shushu is, yes. Shushu is beautiful inside and out. I am honored to be her friend, her YouTube friend. Can't wait to meet you in real life, sister, because y'all know YouTube ain't real. I can't say I know you until I sit down and we break bread. So I can't wait to meet Mandrell. Cannot wait to meet Shushu, brother Damien. Can't wait to meet I Am the Single One. I Am the Single One. You better take me to some cool spots, man, some venues where we can hear some great musicians. I know y'all had that drummer on your video that one time on your vlog that I was listening to the drummer, listening to the music. Man, I want to go somewhere like that. I'll be there when it gets warm again. I ain't coming in the cold. I cannot come to the cold. Thank y'all so much for rocking out with me. I appreciate y'all. And this was fun. So tomorrow's Friday. Y'all know Fridays. I don't normally do shows. We're going to band night. Hey, I gotta go. My daughter has to go to a band night. So we're gonna be doing that. I might do a late night Lit Saint episode. Who knows? Always be on the lookout for that. Ain't no telling. I might come in talking crazy. Ain't no telling. And then Friday, I'm gonna be doing some downrange stuff. I got a downrange episode that's gonna be tonight in 2 hours, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna do a downrange episode talking about Gavin Newsom. And if you guys are up, please stop by, pull up. Downrange podcast, downrange political. I think it's downrange politics is what I'm calling it, or something like that. Come over and check that out. And that's it, y'all. I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm all out of words. I appreciate everybody. Let me make sure I show all the chats before we get out of here. And yeah, y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for rocking out with me. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.